Welcome to Wyoming, the equality state, or the state with the smallest welcome signs. Wyoming is actually the state with the smallest population, having around 550,000 people in it. In fact, more people live in Denver than in all of Wyoming. So it shouldn't really be a big surprise that a lot of it is open farmland. As I drove north, I stopped briefly in a small town called Afton, because this antler arch caught my eye. It was a cute little town, but I didn't stay long. Arriving at Jackson, Wyoming, I finished my 200-mile trip to my first destination. Jackson is a very touristy town. It's around an hour south of Yellowstone and only 30 minutes from Grand Teton National Park. I spent a day here just exploring Jackson. Jackson's fun, but one day was all I needed inside the town itself. Next, I was headed towards Grand Teton, a national park right below Yellowstone that I've never actually heard of. I spent a day and a half at Grand Teton. The first day, I did some hiking at a place called Jenny Lake. I love the jagged mountain range in the distance. The hiking trail I did wasn't anything crazy, just a lot of pretty forest and views. A beautiful place to hike though. On my way back out of the park, I saw a moose from very far away. It was the only one I saw. My second day there, I went to a site called Schwabacher Landing. At first, I didn't think it was too special, but then I found a trail that goes along a creek that had some of my favorite views of the whole trip so far. I got lucky and was there at the right time for the moon to be just above the mountains. Grand Teton gets overshadowed by Yellowstone, but it's definitely worth a visit. So it turns out Yellowstone is huge. If you're in the center of the park, it can take around an hour to drive out depending on where you are and which exit you're using. The very first thing I did in Yellowstone was visit Old Faithful. Old Faithful is one of many geysers in Yellowstone. Apparently over 50% of the world's natural geysers and hot springs are in Yellowstone, which is insane to me.
What?
Old Faithful gets its name because it erupts on a very consistent and predictable schedule, roughly every 90 minutes.
Hey, look, it's starting to come. Oh, here we go.
It erupted like this for about 5 minutes, so I'm not going to show the whole thing. The geysers, hot springs, and other views were great. Just an insanely unique place with so much to see. I have a lot of footage from Yellowstone. I'll try to compress it down into something short and sweet. Yellowstone is amazing. I'd say the biggest highlight for me was the wildlife there. I saw dozens of bison and elk. The wildlife really sets it apart from even the other national parks I've seen so far. Done with Yellowstone, I headed east towards my next state. Driving through the mountains, I saw the first snow of my trip, which as a Southern Californian is noteworthy. I randomly saw this army of cows being marched down a mountain. A quick stop to do some laundry. And the very last thing I did was a slight detour to see the Devil's Tower Monument, which was cool, worth a quick look. Next stop, South Dakota.